Yang, let's go. Yo, today is August 20th. We're on pages 40 and 41, and it's day 2 of our leisure article, and we are talking some 90s technology, a tiny egg that is more than a toy, Tamagotchi.
没错，我们今天要继续介绍我们昨天介绍过的电子鸡。那我们昨天简单的讲一下电子鸡，它是在差不多1996年的时候，万代它所推出的，一推出就非常轰动，好多人都买，然后全球呢可以卖到1亿台之多，非常非常多，很恐怖的数字，大家都在玩，然后很吸引这些青少年，尤其是女生很喜欢玩这种游戏。
All right, well, listen.With that, let's jump right into our article so we have lots of time for fun stories and facts and more Tamagotchi.
A tiny egg that is more than a toy. Although Tamagotchi began as an activity for one person, it has now grown into a social movement. One clear example is the Toronto Tamagotchi Club, which was founded to bring fans together. The club was created in 2022 in response to people's loneliness after the COVID-19 pandemic. Rather than connecting through social media, members choose to meet in person and share their interest in virtual pets. The club draws people of different ages and backgrounds. Regular events allow members to talk about their Tamagotchis, connect devices, and enjoy snacks together. However, the most creative activity was their attempt to organize the world's largest Tamagotchi wedding in 2025. In this unusual event, people gathered with their devices and paired their digital pets for marriage. More than 200 people attended, and 162 Tamagotchi weddings were successfully held. Guests even wore formal clothes, which made the event feel like a real wedding. While the idea may seem playful, it reflects the deep human need for connection. By using this simple toy, people have been able to build friendships and create shared experiences. Even in this digital age, meaningful relationships can still grow from the most unexpected places.
Yesterday, we learned that over 100 million Tamagotchi were sold around the world. But by the time that the Tamagotchi craze died down, Bandai actually lost money.
Oh.
How can you sell 100 million units and lose money? Well, Tamagotchi was so popular that people were trying to reserve units anywhere. They'll call everywhere. Okay, give me two. They'll call everybody. And so Bandai looked at their numbers and said, okay, everybody wants like so many. But you know what? Bandai lost money because they made too many. They couldn't sell them. They just went in the garbage.
太悲伤了。所以你可以想想看说，哇，全球卖了1台，那班代应该是红到半边天，赚了好多钱嘛？错，他赔钱了。为什么会赔钱呢？老师刚刚提到一个字叫做 craze， 就是 crazy 的 y， 把它 y 去掉换成 e，craze。我们之前提到 fad 或是 craze 都是一时的热潮，一时的风潮。所以说为什么他会赔钱？原因是因为到处都说哦，我也要订2个，我也要订10个，我要订多少？好多人都让他下了订单，然后班代想说，哦，这么受欢迎，好，那我再多做一点，加倍做，好，加10倍来做。就突然之间大家都有了，也没有要买新的，这些东西卖不出去，然后做了一堆，最后都直接丢到垃圾桶里头，所以他就赔钱了。
That's right. So Bandai sold 100 million units, but they still lost $1 billion NT dollars.
哇塞，有时候等于是亏了10亿。
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Although Tamagotchi began as an activity for one person, it has now grown into a social movement. Oh, I love this next paragraph.
Yeah, 所以我们看这一段的第一句话说 Although Tamagotchi began as an activity for one person, 开始的时候只是个人说我养一只，你养一只， 个人的娱乐活动。但是怎么样 ？It has now grown into a social movement。这个 social movement， 我看到的时候，我想说有2种可能性。第一种就是社交的一种活动。或者是 a social movement， 也想是社会的运动。我们今天要做一个，比方说要鼓吹那个环保，要鼓吹保护动物等等，那也是可以是一个 social movement. It has now grown into a social movement， 就开始变成一种社交运动，大家一起来。
I remember at the beginning of the month, was it Tabitha was interested in social justice.
Yes.
Tabitha, right?
Tabitha, yes.
Bridget survives the accident. Emily is interested in romantic relationships.
That's right.
Tabitha is interested in social justice. Probably not Tamagotchi.
可能不是那种的。
One clear example is the Toronto Tamagotchi Club, which was founded to bring fans together. And I'm so disappointed I didn't know this because Buffalo is close to Toronto. I would love to go see this.
Yeah， 所以这边的话，因为老师他是在这个水牛城的话往上一点点 ，Toronto 就在附近，
really close, yeah.
非常非常近，所以他就说他居然不知道这件事情，什么事呢？他就说 one clear example， 非常一个很鲜明的例子呢，就是 the Toronto Tamagotchi Club， 它是一个这种多伦多电子鸡俱乐部 ，OK。Which was founded， 它当初成立的时候 to bring fans together， 好，就希望能够把粉丝们喜欢玩电子机的朋友们都齐聚一堂。
That's right. Was founded just means was started. The club was created in 2022 in response to people's loneliness after the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, we all remember COVID and all of the problems that brought.It's important to remember that places like North America and Canada, they very quickly broke that quarantine. They didn't want to wear masks. In Taiwan, people still wear masks and are very nervous about that. So.
没错，所以在2022年的时候怎么样？因为大家经过这 COVID 的这种洗礼，对不对？觉得哇，好寂寞，整天在家里头待着，人都快闷坏了。所以这个地方他说 ，The club was created in 2022， 好，是在2022年的时候。In response to 这个 in response to， 请帮我把它圈起来。In response to 意思就是为了因应某件事情，为了去因应后面发生的情况，你可以说 in response to， 你也可以说 in order to respond to。好，它这个 response 这边是名词，你也可以用动词，然后去换不同的形式去说。然后 in response to people's loneliness after the COVID-19 pandemic， 就是在经过这个 COVID-19 的这种状况之后呢，大家都很寂寞，就是为了要因应这样大家的这种需求，所以呢，2022年就创造了这个社团。
Rather than connecting through social media, members choose to meet in person.And share their interest in virtual pets. So rather than works just like instead of. And we know when we say instead of, we're going to draw our little arrow and then 画那个叉叉. Why? Because instead of 之后是不要做的. Rather than works the same way. Rather than connecting through social media, members choose to meet in person.Just like the Drake meme.
Drake meme, Drake meme. 要知道这个不要，好，这个才是对的。
Dude, that's the best way.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they want to meet face to face rather than online and talk about Tamagotchi, which is cool if you live in a big city like Toronto.
没错，所以这个地方你看到 rather than 后面就打一个叉叉 ，rather than 后面接的东西是先讲不要做的，他不打算怎么样，这些人不打算 connecting through social media， 不想在这个社交媒体里面去交流。Members choose to meet in person， 要面对面的沟通，and share their interest in virtual pets。好，这样的话就可以去享受、分享一下他们对虚拟宠物这样的兴趣。
So in southern England, there is a pet cemetery that has a small part set aside for Tamagotchi. The toys are given a little casket.
Wow.
They are buried with mourners like crying and looking on, and then flowers are placed on top of the end.
哇塞！
I love that this exists. I'm not making fun of it, but it still makes me laugh. It's still kind of funny.
Yeah， 没错，所以老师就说，在英格兰的南部呢，有一个公墓，他们有一个区块专门是这个准备给 Tamagotchi， 就是电子鸡的。比方说，今天电子鸡真的死了，活不过来了，这时候他们就准备了一个小棺木啊，然后上面铺了可能鲜花，还有人专门在帮你哭啊，等等，全套该有的都有。然后
还有一朵花，
还有一朵花插上去啊，等等，就是用人的规格去对待这个 Tamagotchi。然后老师就说，虽然说我没有要嘲讽他们的意思，我也不会这样做，但是每次想到这样的故事，我都觉得还是很想笑。
I'm really not laughing at the people, but just the idea of putting it in
a little casket. Come on. Oh, it's so
That's
cute.
pretty funny. They make a little box and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we got paragraph 2. Hey friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 40 and 41. We're talking about Tamagotchi. From digital pet to global trend, let's begin our next paragraph. The club draws people of different ages and backgrounds.
好，我们来看第二段的第一句话，告诉你说 The club， 我们刚刚不是提到这个多伦多，还有形成一个俱乐部，然后专门是让喜欢 Tamagotchi 电子鸡的朋友们一起来欢聚，对不对？它这边提到说这个俱乐部呢 draws people of different ages， 好，意思就是吸引了不同的年龄层 and backgrounds， 和不同背景的人，都吸引过来了。
Regular events allow members to talk about their Tamagotchis, connect devices, and enjoy snacks together. What snacks? So you can feed your Tamagotchi like healthy food, or you can give them snacks.
Oh.
But if you give them too many snacks, what happens?
Oh, they die.
They get sick. They die. Of course, everything. So I wonder if the snacks they eat are kind of like Tamagotchi, like theme snacks. Right? I really want to go to this club. I wish I knew about this because I would go and ask these people and interview, tell me about this. I wish I knew more.
Yeah, 没有错。所以这个地方提到 regular events， 好，这种定期的这些举办活动哦 ，allow members to talk about their Tamagotchis， 好，让大家可以聊聊彼此的我的宠物你看又快挂了，来我教你怎么处理它哦。or connect devices， 好，两只宠物好好见面，好交好朋友 ，and enjoy snacks together。所以这个地方老师就说，这个 snacks， 因为在这个养电子鸡的过程中，你有机会去喂它食物。如果你喂它吃那种可乐啊、炸鸡啊、披萨啊这种吃得很开心，它会很开心很开心。可你天天这样喂的时候，过几天好像快不行了，快死了。你要喂它吃好吃，它就好啦，但是它会活得很健康，就变成是你要在这边中间做一个平衡跟取舍。
Okay, get ready for the next sentence. However, the most creative activity was their attempt to organize the world's largest Tamagotchi wedding in 2025. Now stop. The world's largest Tamagotchi wedding. That means there were other Tamagotchi weddings. 就是没有那么大。
Yeah.
People are setting this up. Okay, all right. Whatever.
OK， 所以如果说今天我们刚刚之前是有提到说这个英格兰的南部有这个公墓，对不对？好，公墓有一块呢是专门对付这个电子鸡的，还有整套的这种服务，还有鲜花，然后有这个棺木啊等等。你看到这句话的时候，可能会觉得说，原来是这样子。你看他说 ，However, the most creative activity 最有创意的活动莫过于什么 ？Was their attempt。他们打算要去做 to organize the world's largest Tamagotchi wedding in 2025。在2025年的时候，他们打算去举办一个全世界最大的 Tamagotchi 这种电子鸡的婚礼。所以老师刚刚讲到说，哇，全世界最大代表其他地方也有在办，只是没有那么大。哇，人们的想法真是有够疯狂呢。这样子。
To me, it feels like this has to be the world's first Tamagotchi wedding, but no, 这个是最大的而已。Okay, that's pretty special.
Yeah.
So, I love that people are having so much fun with this.
Yeah.
I understand this a little bit because do you remember the NDS, the Nintendo DS?
Yes.
And so you guys probably don't remember this, NDS, SanDS. It's maybe about 10, 15 years ago. And they had something called Street Pass. And so you have your NDS or SanDS and you put it in your bag. And then you just go for a walk, a lot like a Switch. You could take it with you. And if you walk by someone, you would share some information. And then when you open the game, you would get little coins or you would get puzzle pieces. And there were little games you could play if you walked by someone that also had an NDS. And it was very fun to have that. But you didn't like get married.
对
That's too much.
太奇妙了，因为老师提到这个游戏是你随时带在身上，对不对？然后有点类似像我们现在的 Switch， 然后你今天带在身上之后，如果你经过另外一个有同样这种装置的人，然后你有机会得到拼图，然后你要开始解谜，有的时候会得到金币等等，有各式各样好玩的东西。可是老师说，如果要结婚，让他们结婚，这个想法有点意思。
A little too far. A little too. Back up. Okay, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 3. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. Anthony, have you ever taken care of any digital pets?
Yes, I did it once, but I think I have to admit that I wasn't a very good caretaker.
Was it like a famous one? Was it a Tamagotchi? No, right?
Similar, not a Tamagotchi, but I borrowed it from my friend. I tried to take care of it maybe for one day, but it's too much trouble.
Okay, so I played something called Nintendogs. And you had a dog. It was really cute, really fun. You played with your dog. You gave your dog a bath. You taught it tricks. You took it for a walk. You cleaned up its mess. And it was really fun. But every game gets boring over time. But the problem is, you feel bad. I didn't visit my dog. You give it a name and you love it. And it's really nice to you. And then you don't play it. And then it's like, I should check on my dog. And you open it, and it's really excited to see you. And the game is like, you haven't been here for a year. And you feel terrible. And I don't like the guilt that it gives you. So I don't want to play those games anymore because it makes me feel bad. It's not a real dog. But the idea of not taking care of my pet makes me feel terrible. I won't do it anymore.
没错，所以老师以前玩那个游戏叫 Nintendo 的那个 dog，right？ 它有个游戏，然后呢，开始的时候你玩了很开心啊，对不对？你可以帮它洗澡啊，带它出去玩啊，喂它吃东西啊，或者等等做一些事情。然后到后来，任何的游戏玩到一个阶段之后，就觉得有点无聊了，先不玩了，放着。其他游戏以后，你说萨尔达好了，你玩一玩不玩了没关系，萨尔达不会怪你，对不对？可是你现在，我突然一阵，我看看狗狗怎么样了。1年过后一看，然后狗狗很开心看到你，可它身上
so happy，
很开心。然后呢，有的时候可能身上都脏脏的啦，你都没有来，然后你就知道说，你没有来看我已经1年了。突然你会觉得心生愧疚，愧疚感，然后觉得说，哇，天哪，这个游戏玩下去，如果说你不照顾它一辈子，而且它你会比他先死嘛，对不对？所以说今天就是你会觉得哇，我不要再玩这种游戏，因为让我感觉不太舒服。
Yeah, I can't do it. Okay. In this unusual event, the Tamagotchi wedding, people gathered with their devices and paired their digital pets for marriage. Marriage is the time after you get married. So you have your wedding, and your wedding is the start of your marriage. That time where you're not boyfriend, girlfriend anymore, you're married.
没错，所以这边的话，我们看到第一句话说 ，in this unusual event， 在这个非比寻常、很特别的这种活动里头呢 ，people gathered with their devices， 人们带着他们各自的这个电子机 ，and paired their digital pets for marriage。然后之后说，我跟你配对，就很像是带着自己的孩子说，来，我们来指腹为婚啊，或者是说，今天你们两个注定百年好合，咚，就变成是这个夫妻了，这样子，哇哦，我现在还是觉得这个想法很冲击呢。
Okay, it gets better. More than 200 people attended, and 162 Tamagotchi weddings were successfully held. So did some people not get married, or were they only watching? Did they play that wedding song like dun 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 dun, right?
Yeah,
they had to. They had to. Guess even wore formal clothes, which made the event feel like a real wedding. I love that.
哇，很酷，对不对？他就告诉你说有超过 more than 200 people attend 就是参加出席的意思。You can attend a wedding 就是出席婚礼。And 162 Tamagotchi weddings were successfully held. 他们就成功的举办了162场这种电子鸡婚礼哦。Guests 这边来咯。 Guests even wore formal clothes. 好，他们还穿上正式的这种礼服，对不对？ Which made the event feel like a real wedding. 好像正式的去参加真的婚礼一样。
I love that because it's like, yes, this is silly, but let's embrace how silly it is. And this is a man that wears a Mario hat and a Mario jacket and a Pac-Man tie all over Taipei. So I'm not peeping. I really do think this is funny and wonderful.But I just think it's just like your Tamagotchi wedding, 然后你带那个东东西什么。
Yeah， 终于碰到比那个 Chris 老师更疯的人了，赞啦！
I just think it's so funny. Okay, let's take a break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 4. Hey friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. Let's do paragraph 4. While the idea may seem playful, and I agree,It reflects the deep human need for connection. And I agree with this. Yes, I'm laughing and having fun, but this is true. Tamagotchi really does touch something in our hearts.
没错。所以这个地方你看到的 while the idea may seem playful, 好，虽然这个想法看起来好好玩哦，好有趣哦，但是好，它这个地方 while 也是像 although 一样的感觉，有一个对比感。但是怎么样呢？ It reflects the deep human need for connection. 它其实反映到人类对于这种彼此连结这种非常深层的这种需求。
Now, if we remember in paragraph 1, we learned a word that means you feel sad because you don't have deep human connection. That word was loneliness. We learned that back in paragraph 1. Let's underline deep human need for connection and draw an arrow.to loneliness all the way in paragraph 1 because they are opposites.
没错，所以我们在第一段的时候看到 loneliness， 好，就是寂寞、孤单，对不对？在这边的话，回到这边，他们深层的这种 connection 的需求，就是我们人类彼此的这种深层要彼此连结的需求。
By using this simple toy, people have been able to build friendships and create shared experiences. Listen, people can connect over almost anything. Why not a simple toy that they enjoy? Sounds great to me.
没错，就像大家朋友他会喜欢聊运动啦，好，或你支持这个 Buffalo Go Buffalo Go， 对不对？很多时候就运动啦，然后自己的猫猫狗狗啦。那所以今天你对电子鸡的喜好也可以成为人跟人之间交流的一个工具，对不对？他说 By using this simple toy， 只要用这个简单的小小的玩具 ，people have been able to build friendships.And create shared experiences， 他们就能够创造友谊，然后呢，去分享彼此共同的经验。
Even in this digital age, meaningful, real relationships can still grow from the most unexpected places. So maybe when something is meaningful, that means it's not kind of fake. It's real and deep, and you feel it's important to you.
没错，所以这里的话，即便even in this digital age， 在这个数位的时代里头呢 ，meaningful relationship， 老师刚刚提到 meaningful 就是 real 真实的 genuine， relationships can still grow from the most unexpected places， 在你最意想不到的地方，居然有机会能够透过虚拟的东西连接真实的情感。
What a wonderful and fun story about a little electronic toy. I had such fun reading this. It's so silly and so fun and so interesting. I hope you liked it too. But we are out of time at Enjoy English School. So for Enjoy English School, I am Chris Gorski.
I'm Anthony.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.